In a much-needed impetus to revive India's economy, the government has announced a $32 billion bank recapitalization plan and a mega road project. This to improve the fiscal health of India's public sector banks. The government has announced a 2.11 lakh crore rupees or $32 billion recapitalization plan. In simple words, it means that the government will infuse extra capital to help banks overcome their financial challenges. Another important decision taken by the government is to kickstart its Bharatmala, which is a project to boost connectivity across the country. The new highway program will connect border areas, improve international port and coastal connectivity. The plan is to construct 83,677 kilometers of roads, highways and bridges in phases. Under the first phase, which will be completed by 2022, 24,800 kilometers of roads will be built at a cost of 5.35 lakh crore rupees. The project also includes the ongoing construction of the 10,000 kilometer of national highways as well as roads in the northeast and areas affected by the Maoist insurgency.
3 वर्षों से लगातार हिंदुस्तान दुनिया की सबसे तेजी से बढ़ने वाली बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था रही है और हम लोगों का उद्देश्य यह है कि एक जो हाई ग्रोथ इकोनॉमी हिंदुस्तान बना है वो स्थिति हम लोगों की कायम रहे. Once you strengthen the banks under the scheme which we have announced today, certainly the attraction for the banking stocks also is going to improve.
All right, so that was India's Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. Remember, he was very particular about the fact that this is not cost connection. Remember, two big developments from that press conference earlier today. He said that the government is going to push for a recapitalization of India's banks. And secondly, that there is a huge road infrastructure project that is planned, the Bharatmala project, which is aimed at connectivity for peripheral areas in India, specifically those in the northeast and areas hit by Maoist insurgency. The Indian Finance Minister struck a positive note in that much-needed impetus to revive the Indian economy. He announced that a $32 billion bank recap plan and a mega road project will be undertaken. To improve the fiscal health of India's public sector banks, the government has announced a 2.11 lakh crore rupees or approximately $32 billion in recapitalization for India's banks. Basically, what this means is that the government is looking to infuse some extra capital to help banks overcome their financial challenges. The other big development, of course, and the decision announced today by the government is to kickstart the Bharatmala project to boost connectivity across the length and breadth of India. This new program will connect border areas, improve international port and coastal connectivity. The plan, of course, is to construct more than 80,000 kilometers of roads, highways and bridges in phases. Joining me tonight on the broadcast to talk more about Mr. Jaitley's statements today from New Delhi is Mr. Mohan Guruswamy. He's the head of Centre for Policy Alternatives and, of course, a well-known policy strategist. Mr. Guruswamy, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us here on WION. Mr. Jaitley says this isn't course correction. Then what is it?
Well, it's just a restatement of the course. All this has been said before. They had to know, they knew that they had to recapitalize the banks. They delayed it by 3 years. What would have been 90,000, 94,000 crores in 2014 has now become 2,11,000 crores or $22 billion. That's a lot of money for no rhyme or reason, which they added on. And the highways, Bharatmala has been on the anvil, it's been announced several times before. The length of roads have been announced. But point is that the government just has not been able to make available the money for it. And where are they going to get the money now? I don't know. But they are restating what they've already had announced before.
Right. So if I can ask you, one of the chronic problems faced by banks, of course, in all this news about bad loans and concerns about recovery of loans given out. Now, private institutions want loans, public banks are skeptical about lending, and this whole system of issuing of bonds. Do you think that this is more of a deferment of the issue rather than a head-on facing of the problems faced by India's public service, or at least India's public banks?
You see, the assumption is that, most of the companies which have these NPAs have run into bad headwinds, which have affected their business. It's not particularly true, not really true, because a lot of the money has been siphoned out, and you haven't made any attempt to restructure the companies, bring the money back, or to dispossess unworthy promoters of their company. You haven't done anything of that sort. The bad debts are just piling on. And they're announcing more and more new projects and going back to the FIs for more money. So you see, this has been a non-serious exercise, and by restructuring the banks, what will happen is that the banks will, be able to write off more debt. And apart from that, you have no plans on restructuring the company. This so-called Vinay Rai committee is doing nothing. He's busy with cricket and banking reforms and banking restructuring. Everything is gone out of the window.
Is banking... I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. Is banking culture, the behavior of banks, the way banks behave in India, do you think that is something that also needs to be addressed on a war footing if the government is to see through some of these well-meaning policies that they're hopeful of?
Well, all policies are well-meaning, how you implement them. So I think the culture of banking in India, which is mostly state-controlled, is bad. There is cartelization. The banks sit together and decide who's going to take the part, and they fix interest rates. The RBI is not able to enforce low interest rates. So each time they cut interest, the banks keep their lending levels the same. So, nothing is really changing. So I think you've really got to go at the banks also with a big stick. And, the spread of Indian banking is that between the lending rate and the borrowing rate, is about 6-7%, which is huge. Nowhere in the world do you have this kind of spread. It's to cover for their inefficiencies and their follies and the corruption and everything. So the banking system in India, which is controlled by the state, is particularly vulnerable to corruption and political pressure.
Right. So to come back to Mr. Jaitley's comments today on the fiscal deficit and consolidation, he said that the government is in control of the situation. Can I ask you to explain that a bit further for us? What exactly does he mean, and how exactly does the government perceive itself to be in control?
Money for investment and all those things. It's fine, you control it, you control subsidies, you control all kinds of things. Live within your means. It is not by itself be all and end all. First priority of the government is to create jobs. To create jobs, you need to have investment. And without investment, you're not going to, it doesn't matter if you meet the fiscal deficit target or not. People are going to die, people are going to suffer. The priority should be in terms of investment, which will lead to jobs. That they're not doing. They're focused on fiscal deficit. Okay, current account deficit has come down, but nothing to do with what the government did. It's to do with oil prices. And what are you going to tell a man who's looking for a job, billions are looking for jobs, who've not got jobs, that, we've got fiscal deficit under control. Times like this, fiscal deficit can be set aside, and let's focus on it. We let it go a little above also. Most countries in the world have good, large fiscal deficits, and then get it on. Focus should be on growth and jobs, which all come through investment.
Stay with me, Mr. Guruswamy. I just want to take our viewers through what Mr. Jaitley said exactly today. I've got a couple of other questions for you. I'll take that to you as soon as we're done listening to Mr. Jaitley.
3 वर्षों से लगातार हिंदुस्तान दुनिया की सबसे तेजी से बढ़ने वाली बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था रही है, और हम लोगों का उद्देश्य यह है कि एक जो हाई ग्रोथ इकोनॉमी हिंदुस्तान बना है, वो स्थिति हम लोगों की कायम रहे. Once you strengthen the banks, under the scheme which we have announced today, certainly the attraction for the banking stocks also is going to improve.
All right, let's go back to Mr. Mohan Guruswamy, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. Sir, two quick questions for you. One, of course, $32 billion for bank revival, $107 billion for road infrastructure. It sounds great, but where exactly is all this money coming from?
22 billion for the banks, a lot of it will be given in bonds. I don't see any cash going in. The books will look a little better, but that does not reduce NPAs. NPAs are going to be at 10 lakh crores, so so the banks are going to keep proctoring their books and appear a little better. But NPAs are not coming down, and that is your real challenge. You're not addressing that at all. And he says, bank stocks will go up. What's the relationship with stocks? Prices of bank stocks. How does it improve bank finances? If stock prices go up, stock market makes money, banks don't make money. Does this man know what he's talking about?
Right, sir.
As far as the road project is concerned, it's a good thing. They'll create jobs. But this has been on the anvil for a long time. Why did you implement it? Why are you not talking about it now? You should have been talking about building roads 30, 40, 50 kilometers a day, which you were saying that you were doing, but not doing. You got all these paper projects, and now you give it a new name, Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, whatever, but do it. You haven't done anything for 3 years.
Fair enough, sir. We'll leave it at that. We're running out of time on the segment. Mr. Mohan Guruswamy, appreciate you coming on our channel, speaking to us about the statements today earlier from the Finance Minister of India, Arun Jaitley. That is a story, of course, that we'll be tracking in detail right here on WION.